to everybody. I'm so excited. Let's do this. This is Dee Talk Live, Mondays, Love Talk. It's so exciting. And you know what's really exciting about it? This wonderful weather that we're having here in Melbourne today, because it's so beautiful. And if you can't see what I'm wearing, go on Instagram because I'm wearing next to nothing. Woohoo! Tonight, we're talking about an amazing topic. Once again, a very interesting topic. A topic that a lot of people have been in. So like a situation, something that usually happens all the time, because as people and as human beings, we tend to adhere. We tend to go for people or be attracted to people, let's just say, that are, our type. But many other people do too, yeah? So what you like, other people like as well. And that's why I thought today it'd be really interesting for us to talk about this topic. Because this topic asks you, have you been in a love triangle before? I have. And I'm going to tell you my story tonight. That's why it's going to get down to the nitty-gritty details of what actually happened to me many years ago. And when we, as we are as people, what you like, many other people like. But then when you discover that they haven't chosen you, or they don't want to be with you, or what you want is pretty much not what they want at their specific time or specific circumstance or situation in their lives, right? They tend to go for an easier option. And that's why I say that vulnerability and taking a chance in life and following what we really want in life is so important, because it's part of our dreams and it's part of what we want in somebody that drives us crazy and makes us so happy and brings those butterflies out in our stomachs as well, yeah? So that's why I thought tonight it would be so interesting and so interpretive upon love and upon what it actually means to me. And I'm sure people have been in this situation as well, when you really, really like somebody because they've been involved with you. But then they choose someone else because it's the easier option. It's the option that makes them feel as though, I don't have to think about anything, and this is not really going to make me feel what I really need to feel or be the person that I'm supposed to be. But remember, it's all about the journey. It's all about the way people are supposed to be feeling and wanting to be, right? At that specific point in their lives. And it's normal. It's relative. And it pretty much tells you a lot of things. And maybe, you know what? You're not supposed to be with that person. Or you're not supposed to be put in a position where, they don't choose you and they choose somebody else. Because if they really, really loved you, they'd choose you, But then sometimes you think it's probably not meant to be, and it's probably not supposed to happen, yeah? So a few years ago, in my experience, I'll tell you, right? Because as people and as humans that love and are in relationships, we tend to adventure out and experience different partners, okay? And a while back, I remember when I had first lost my partner, as you all know, like Johnny. I had met somebody before I met Johnny, and this is a very long time ago. And we shared a history, a small history, but a beautiful history. And he basically was very into me at the time, and I didn't realize how into me he was, because at that stage in my life I really didn't want a partner and I didn't really want a boyfriend. Yeah, it wasn't my ideal situation at that time, and it wasn't what I wanted, because I was going through many situations and life lessons at that stage. And I wasn't ready to be with anybody because I had already been through so much. And these are what we call life lessons. And that's the reason why I chose not to dwell onto that journey. And I had met this guy and there was a connection there, but I didn't see how much of a connection was there because it wasn't relative to me. At that stage, nothing was relative to me because my mind wasn't there. My mind was about being in that happy-go-lucky, free-spirited aspect in my life, because that's how I've always been as a person, because that's what Dee Thinks is. It's all about that, you know. And hey, Una! Hey, Elpida! Hey, everybody! Wave! Say hello to everybody. So it was more about, understanding myself and really finding myself. And I had gone overseas at the time on a holiday, and this person had actually found me on Facebook, which is really funny because we're on this now, and had said to me, I love the way that you're so lighthearted. I love your pictures. I love your personality. I love that you're just happy-go-lucky, because that's how I've always been, yeah? So we ended up being friends. We had met up overseas. I'm not going to tell you where. Oh my God, I nearly did. And I didn't know how this person had felt about me, right? So this is the love triangle story of what Dee thinks. That's why I thought we're going to talk about this, because it's amazing. Hey, hello, Dean. So we had gone on a couple of dates and it was good, but the feeling for me, obviously at that stage, wasn't mutual, right? Anyway, many years after, obviously I found the love of my life, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. And then this person, for some reason, kept on coming up into my mind afterwards. And I decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and do, what more or less we were feeling. Only because, though, right? When you lose somebody, you not only have insecurities within yourself, but you have the lack of abundance. You have the lack of longing for someone. You have the lack of love. You have many things where they come into your mind and create ideologies that, not that you're not good enough, but will I ever find somebody like the person that I was with, right? Because you spend so much time with this person and he was the best thing since sliced bread, and you just want to find love again, right? And you know that other people will, want to be with you, but are they going to be with you for the right reasons? And this person that I had met before Johnny wanted me for the right reasons, the same. It was a relationship that I never ever gave the chance to, and that's fair enough, because it was wrong timing. It wasn't divine timing, as I always say every week, but it was one of the biggest, most beautiful experiences in my life, because I learned a lot from this person, and I'm sure he learned a lot from me as well, right? Because I'm always so happy-go-lucky and so positive, and that's what he loved about me. And what I loved about him was he was so serious, so logical, and just the complete opposite to me, But the thing that I didn't like about him was he didn't know how to connect. He didn't know how to love on a deeper level. He didn't know how to let it go. You know, he didn't know how to take the journey of love and pretty much just go with the flow because he was scared, you know, that I would probably hurt him again when I didn't even know that I hurt him or it affected him. Even though he says that it didn't affect him, I know that it did, you know, and it's understandable because we're all scared. But it doesn't mean you don't take a chance on love or you don't delve into something that's so romantically beautiful. You know, that's why I started Dee Talk Live, because I know so much about love and I know how people feel and how people want to be cherished and want to be treated, you know, because it's all about self-worth and it's all about wanting to be with somebody that's going to really appreciate you for every aspect and every bit of you. And that's what I was trying to teach to this person, you know, but everybody's at a different stage in their lives and, you know, it's not up to you to teach them or it's not up to you to make them understand who you are or want to be with you. If they don't, if they want to take the easy road out, let them, because it's part of their journey. Everything's part of our journey, you know. So, hey Christina, you guys are beautiful. Say hello everybody who's out there tonight. So, the journey kept on going afterwards, and we kept in contact and we're talking for a very long time. But I believe that a lot of lies and deception were in the mix, and a lot of things weren't emphasized and expressed throughout the surface. So for me, I will always love him regardless, because he was quite special to me, because he was a big part of my life, as he taught me the lessons that I needed to take on board and keep on going with, especially with this beautiful business here, what Dee Thinks. He really has made me evolve and made me understand what love is about and what it should be about. So being involved in a love triangle was quite hard for me, and it really hurt me, because I was so into this guy, as he was as well, before I met Johnny. So it's like the tables had turned and things had changed. And I don't believe it was more about karma. I think it was more to do with the timing, because I had done nothing wrong. It was more that I wasn't ready, but then for some reason I was ready with Johnny. So it's all about timing, it's all about resilience, and it's all about getting to know yourself, you know, and that's what relationships are about. Anyway, long story short, it's going to be a long story, sorry. You know how I say long story short. I ended up catching up with this guy, obviously a little bit afterwards. And we connected like a house on fire. It was like I had never left him from the moment when I was that age. You know, I was a lot younger. And we were connecting and we were talking, and we were consistently, you know, flirting, and, you know, vice versa, or whatever it is. And I knew that he was quite special, and I'm sure he did as well. I don't know if he still does, because I don't really speak to him anymore. But since that point, I understood what love was really about, because so many people seem to think that love is something that should be looked at in a negative way, but it should never. Because love is so important, and it has so much substance behind it, and it makes you really believe and understand what you want from somebody. And if people or a person, you know, doesn't pick you, or decides to go for the other person, it's pretty much saying that you weren't supposed to be with that person. But they taught you something that was so important and so beautiful, yeah? They taught you something of substance and real meaning. So that's basically what happened to me, and that's why I'm telling you guys. So while he was, talking to me, he actually met somebody throughout the summer and decided that he loved her and he wanted to be with her. And I understood and I accepted, but it doesn't mean that it didn't hurt me, because it killed me. And I was angry and upset and appalled by the way he treated me as well, because nobody needs to be treated in that, position. I think that, when you really find that person that you're supposed to be with, or that's supposed to really care about you or love you, they wouldn't treat you in this type of way. And I understand sometimes that it might be because they're scared of how they're feeling, or they're scared to take the journey or be on board the D train or the D plane, because they're crazy about you, or they love you, or you get underneath their nerves. It's part of the passion. It's part of the admiration. It's part of you. They love every facet of you, and it scares the hell out of them. But that's why it's so beautiful. And that's what happened to me. He didn't choose me, and it's okay. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it didn't hurt me, or I'm not like any other human being not to feel it, or feel the fact that it makes me angry, because I know how he feels about me, regardless of who he's with and what he's doing, and I took it, I took it on board, and I understood it, and I just kept on going. Because when you're really supposed to be with somebody, or it's meant to be, or whatever will happen, it will happen, it does. And it's part of the universal law. It's part of what happens. It's part of how you're aligned and you connect. So, not that I'm saying that there weren't any feelings or that I didn't love the guy. I had never said that I had loved him. And if he's probably hearing it now, he's probably going to have a hernia. I'm sorry. Because there wasn't a time and place to express such emotions, because the time was so limited. And it was a part of my life where a love triangle was happening. And that's what today is about, Have you been involved in a love triangle? Yes, I have. But it had taught me so much as a person, and it's embedded such beautiful morals towards my ideologies, towards relationships, and made me that much stronger. But when you're put in a position like I was, a lot of the times it's very hard to fathom that you're not in a relationship. And that's what's really hard, that when you break up with someone, but I didn't, obviously, I lost somebody, that part of you, that subsequent part of you in that relationship has disappeared, and it's no longer there. Therefore, you try and replace it with someone in order to take away the pain and the hurt. So that's where you need to work on yourself, which is what I did. And that's where you need to bring about the confidence that, you know what, you are enough, and you have that self-worth, and you're on a journey where your destiny is put in a position or on a road where this other person obviously is not supposed to be there, or he does not belong, So that's why I say, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if things are supposed to go in a specific way, they will. But this love triangle relationship, I have to say, was one of the best. Because not only did it bring out the best in me in regards to teaching me and educating me that it's not always what it seems. It's part of the coping strategy. It's part of the journey that what Dee Thinks needs to go on in order to be here with you guys and be able to express and, be vulnerable and open and be like any other person, because I understand what everybody is going through when they go through situations and circumstances. I'm a human being too, and that's why I think that this topic was so amazing, But yeah, he chose her over me. But you know what? Good that he did. And I'm happy that he's happy, because that's all I ever wanted, and that's all I ever want from people. I want people to be happy. I want people to be dynamic. I want you guys to really believe in yourselves, because that's why I started What Dee Thinks. And I always share the love around and the unity. And that's why a love triangle is so important. If you've ever had it in your life, it taught me so much. And I really appreciate, and I'm so grateful and humble to him. And if he is listening to me, like while I'm speaking, I love him. And I'm so happy that I was taught what I was taught. Yeah? Yeah. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for joining me again tonight for an amazing Dee Talk Live Love Mondays. We will be out next week. These are the announcements now, because this is where it's getting a bit amazing. Dee will be live on the streets. So if you see me, say hello to me, come up, we'll interview you, whatever topic we're doing. It's very exciting. It's very, very spontaneous but beautiful. A lot of these places, a lot of these hotspots around Melbourne, locations, know what's coming, and they're so excited themselves, and they're ready to go. Una, you're beautiful. They're thrilling and ready to go. So please join me this Thursday for Dee Talk Live for another amazing topic. You guys are gonna love it. It's so funny. Thank you for all your love and support consistently every week on the lives and on everything else. I'm very appreciative, as I always am. And yeah, next week, let's do Dee on the streets. Woo! Let's do this. I'm so excited. I'll see you guys then. I love you all so much. Please take care of yourselves. Enjoy this beautiful weather that we're having here in Melbourne. It is rocking. It is amazing. The next couple of days are going to be fabulous. I will be at the beach the next couple of days. I don't know about everybody else, but definitely is what I'll be doing. Getting some sun rays and some beautiful tan. Get some European tan, even though we're not in Europe. But as I said, thank you so much. I'm very humbled, very gracious for all your beautiful wishes and joining me. And yeah, let's do this. Dee Talk Live Thursdays. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy.